Start by talking about the squad that Gareth picked yesterday, the 26 men who will carry their hopes. And the big talking point was about the right backs. 4 world-class, if you like, right backs to choose from, and he's picked them all. What did you make of that decision?
Very strange decision. When you think that over the course of a tournament, especially when it gets to the knockout stage, you need game changers, and usually they're in the attacking positions, and he has left out some attacking players. Not many right backs in the world can alter the course of a game, so the benefit of having 4 of them, albeit Walker can play right side of 3 centre backs, and they do play with wing backs sometimes, but I think there's just one too many in there.
Do you think that, do you buy what he says about the fact that, you know, Trent can play in midfield, maybe he suggests, although he hasn't done terribly often, but theoretically, Walker, you mentioned there, can play different positions. Trippier, for example, tonight can play left back. That it's that flexibility that essentially makes up for maybe leaving other players further up the park out of the squad.
I think it's unnecessary. I think it's overkill. I know Trippier can play left back, but you also have Ben Chilwell and Luke Shaw. So you'd be very unlucky for 2 left backs to go down, to have to move one of the right backs over to left back. As I said, it seems a little bit of overkill having them all in. I think it's very accommodating. I think he should have just picked his 3. Walker being one of the 3, being a right side of 3 centre backs, and then 2 options for right back or right wing back, and then use that extra spot, because you're giving up a spot in an attacking area, and they might find themselves in a situation like they did a couple of years ago against Iceland, where they need to bring on attacking players to change the game. If you've got 2 or 3 world-class right backs on the bench, they're not really going to alter the course of the game.
Do you think it was a fudge because he feared the backlash? Because when it was suggested Trent Alexander-Arnold could miss out, there was a huge backlash in the media about how could you leave a player with such qualities out of your squad, and he thought, you know what, I won't take that hard decision. I don't have to, and maybe the 26 man versus 23 allowed him to.
Yeah, and I mean, and his excuse with Trent saying that he can play in midfield as well. We've never seen him play in midfield, and I'm sure if he was a midfield player, we would have seen him there at some point in the course of his career. But obviously, somewhere along the line, somebody probably did try and play him there at youth team level or under 23 level, and realised he's not a central midfield player, he's a right-sided player. So it doesn't make sense. It seems very accommodating, trying to appease all the big clubs who would have been demanding their players go, and fans as well. So it was a tough choice for him, and I feel he's shirked it a little bit.
Well, have a look at the players who missed out then. Now, Mason Greenwood has been withdrawn for injury reasons, but they're the unlucky 7. Now, Jesse Lingard, they were all basically asked, they were allowed to go back home and to check out, really, but they've all, the ones that are available, have stuck around for tonight. And Jesse Lingard is actually in the team. We'll get that team news in a moment. But are there players in that list who could have contributed?
Absolutely. Ollie Watkins, James Ward-Prowse and Jesse Lingard. As I said, England found themselves a few years ago against Iceland, 1-0 down, needing a goal, needing to change something, need to bring on an X-factor. Having James Ward-Prowse on your bench, who's a very, very technically good player, can pick a pass, can open a defence up with a pass, very, very good set-piece taker. He's someone that you could bring on in a game like that. If you did find yourself 1-0 down, Jesse Lingard's obviously had a fabulous season with West Ham. Again, the confidence he's in, he could alter a game for you as well. So if you do find yourself in that situation and you look at your bench, are you going to get Trippier on? Are you going to bring on Reece James? Are they going to change the game for you? I wouldn't have thought so.
Unless you need a right back, you could be in trouble.